Right guys and girls, Mark Crossfield here. Today we're going to look at the Ping i230s and compare them up against the Titleist T100. So both of these clubs are aimed at better players, but they offer game improvement. I do think nearly any handicap could gain these clubs in appropriate lofts. They might get hard as you come down lofts, but Ping or Titleist, who really is going to come out on top? What do you think? So down by the ball, they both look fantastic. They got a very similar blade length actually. So the length of blade looks very similar down by the ball, but the Titleist, the T100 definitely comes in that bit thinner. The i230 is more rounded and not quite as sharp, which is a good thing in some minds and not in others. Also, the Ping is more rounded at the top here, where the Titleist is straighter. The kind of overwhelming look differences. Overwhelming not being the right word really to use there, because it's subtle, but the Ping looks more rounded and soft, where the Titleist looks sharper. The grooves look sharper, the way they cut them look sharper. It's sharper lines and sharper top line. The Ping looks a little bit more squishy, but both look, you know, confidence building wise, you're not going to be in this bracket of clubs if you're looking for the most confidence. Let's start with the T100. So we're going to show you some data with these. We've got a fun game coming at the end as well. Let's just show you what comes out from the initial tests. So the Titleist feels super solid, like so good. It's got that real medium sounding club, so it feels relatively soft, but at the same time it's like solid feeling. And looks wise, it's kind of everything you want from a T100. You know, it looks great. If anything, I think, because this is part of a family, you know, there's T200 and what have you, T200 is maybe now the more all players club, where T100 has become a little bit more slender. Yeah, feels absolutely great. Medium to slightly bottom groove on that one. And that's the beauty with T100, is that you do feel like you're getting some of the best looks. Like, you know, you're up there with some blades in the looks of the T100, but you're still getting a feel like it's helping you. And I think this is why you see this club in so many of their tour players' bags, because they want a certain look, a certain feel. That's quite known amongst better golfers. But at the same time, they don't want to give up performance. And this one doesn't seem to want to give up performance at all. Okay, so let's compare that up to the Ping. We are going to show you the data on these two clubs. But again, I'm not really expecting to see a massive difference, because I just think the brief's exactly the same. So let's see what i230 feels like in comparison. So looks there, like when you put them down together, you notice the difference. If I didn't put them together, and this is why I like doing these comparison videos, because sometimes an iron, it's a reaction too. Like when you isolate them on their own, you just think, oh yeah, that's that. And I would say this is quite similar to a T100. It's not until you put them down together you think, oh no, T100 actually is very slender compared to this one. But this one is still going to really appeal to people who want a certain look. Oh, feel. If anything, the Ping sounds a little firmer. I would argue it feels a little, the T100 just felt almost like a blade. You know, the forge feel of the T100 does come through a little bit. And how much it's to do with that word, it might even be debatable. But whatever they're doing to the sound on these, for me, Titleist are just winning. And winning's not a great term to use, because would that sway me to buy them over these? I'm not sure if it would. I mean, if they were so close, it might come down to that. Looks wise, I prefer the look of this, because that one looks a little bit too aggressive to me, as in if I was gaming them. The Ping feels good, it feels solid. It definitely has a firmer sound and feel to it. Hitting 7 irons in both clubs. We'll show you the data. As I just finished off hitting some shots with these, shall we have a look at the tech of both clubs? Is there someone winning in the tech world when it comes to these two irons? So T100 irons, they've improved the feel, improved the turf interaction. They've got D18 density tungsten, so they're putting tungsten in it to try and really help with some game improvement across the face. New contoured sole, brushed chrome finish. So Titleist is saying with their tungsten in the heel and toe, they've got a more precise CG placement. Again, how much of that you will find, you know, as you hit shots with them, I'm not sure you'll find it. Like, how unprecise were they before they got a bit more precise? So we've got a seamless striking surface now as well, so the face almost wraps around the bottom. Again, it's a uniform leading edge. They're just controlling as much as they can of the club. It's a precision instrument. Ping is saying premium feel and sound. I would say Titleist just wins slightly. Lower CG and higher MOI. They've got weight at the bottom of this club. Again, tungsten toe tip weight increases forgiveness. Rounded leading edge. So you can see all the jargon, all the talk's very similar with both clubs. Micro max grooves, precision mill grooves deliver consistent launch and spin, and they've also got the Hydro Pearl 2.0 chrome finish, ensuring low launch angles with high spin. So Ping are talking about controlling spins in different conditions as well. The Hydro Pearl, when it's wet, they're saying, and it's been proven on many tests that if you hit enough shots with their wedges, it seemed to first come. You know, you can see the spin sustaining with Hydro Pearl finish. It's a clever finish. And then compact long irons as well, so consistent gapping, both of them highly custom fittable. So as you can imagine, the tech is so similar with both of these clubs. I can see where the balls are dropping as well on my map here. And they are looking like pretty much the same club. The more I hit the Ping, again, it's only that I'm hitting them side by side that I would say the Titleist does feel better and different. When I hit the Ping enough times when it's on its own, like, it just feels great. And I do think that's quite a good message for anyone testing out there. Testing up to another thing is a good thing to give you some comparisons, because when it comes to really, you're going to see the numbers. I mean, I can see from the map there how similar these are going to be, which you would expect. They're both trying to do the same thing. Hydro Pearl might sell it for me a bit more on the Ping. The looks might sell it a bit more on the Ping, and then vice versa on the Titleist for someone else. You know, they're filling the same brief, but it's comparing it up to, oh, I like that more than that. Or I like the feel of that more. When you do it isolated on its own, sometimes it's hard to feel like all you can remember is the club you last hit. Right, one more, and then we'll show you some numbers. A little bit pulley, but a good hit. Let's show you those numbers. Ball speeds within 1 mile an hour, but standard deviation overlaps them. Launch angle pretty much the same. Again, standard deviation overlaps them. Spin the same. Standard deviation overlaps them. Start learning standard deviations, people. I'll do more videos on it. 174 to 177 standard deviation again overlaps them. 4, 5, 6, 7, and that brings that down. I mean, they're just so close. I was slightly more precise with the group of shots I hit with the Titleist. I would say that is me more than the club. People do look into these circles, and if I could repeat that, then it would be the club. But anyone who works with anyone who can hit the ball, like, you know that's going to vary to the player. I mean, they are so close. The biggest standout differences is the Titleist is going to appeal to someone who wants that thinner look. The Ping, that slightly more rounded look. You might dial into the difference in the feel of this one feeling that little bit more forward to this one, possibly, and then it's going to be Brand Alliance. Right, little game to finish here at Pebble Beach. I've gone 188. I hate this hole. It's such a tough green to hit, and it's right at my limit for these two clubs. Best of 3 in the comments. Nearest the pin. Who's going to win? Can I make 188 with a 7-iron? Am I really that long now? And it doesn't matter what games you play, you should try this when you're doing your fit-ins, just those dry data sheets where you're hitting over and over again. Fine, they give you some kind of ideas of averages. Not that averages tell you that much if you're not careful. Again, learn those standard deviations. If you want me to do some more videos on standard deviations and the pitfalls of not looking at them, I can. I've done ones before, but they don't seem to go in, they don't resonate with the audience. They just like an average, which is interesting and makes it easy to sell you clubs. I like pushing these irons to limits. This is a shot I'll have to play on, of course. I want to know out of these two when I start going to the limits and not just within my safety zone of 5, 10, 20 shots with each club off a perfect light. I'm now going to push myself. You're like, do I see anything different? So for you, if it's even little half shots or smashed out full shots, punch shots, Maybe do them in your fit as well if you're seeing stuff that's so similar. Right, 1887 iron. Always would be an easy 6 for me this shot, but let's push it. I say always, it wouldn't in a different situation. This hole it would be though. Oh, that's not the best hit, but did I get enough of that? Not quite. Go! Oh yeah. 174 carry. So yeah, it was on my lower of the carries. See, standard deviation, it's medium to lower. That one's 11 yards from the pin. What can the ping do? Oh, again, not a great hit, but that's going to get away with that, I reckon, because it might kick on. Yeah, look, it's got such a bad, good shot. Caught it slightly heavy, 161 carry. That one is 39 feet from the pin. So I'm not very good at doing yards to feet. I'm going to have to convert that. So it's 33 feet. The Titleist is closer, and the Titleist was a better shot. Out of the two, I want the one on the green. I'm going to call that a draw. Anyone who watches my videos, you've got to understand, on the green, 9 times out of 10, so much better than a bit closer, so a few feet closer off the green. Out of those two, my 2-putt percentage to my up and down would be way better. So yeah, Titleist was better shot, Ping's a better result. Let's call it a draw. What do you reckon in the comments? Which one do you want out of those two? Right, Ping first. I'm calling it a draw. I look forward to seeing in the comments what you guys are calling that. Medium hit. Not my best, but it's going to make it, I reckon, this time. Yeah, so it's a better hit. And that's a pretty decent shot. 21 feet to the pin. And on the green. Right, Titleist, can you? Oh, see, when I look at the strikes, when I'm trying to go full speed, they're definitely not as good. Oh, Titleist is on the money for direction. I'm just not striking it as well. 1-0 to the Ping then. This is the decider, Titleist to start. Can I get a full strike with the Titleist? Yeah, don't pull, don't pull. Ah, I struck that so well, but I've just drawn it. Sit. Oh, that's a tricky shot. 19 yards to the pin and not on the green. So really, Ping just needs to hit the green to win, doesn't it? See if I can get one up to the pin. Yeah, there you go. Ping wins on that occasion. I've won 94 mile an hour with my 7-iron is fast for me. And that's flying up to, yeah, that's easily got up there. 180 carry. Being 20 foot from the Ping. So on that group of shots, the Ping wins. But this is the beauty of showing, I think that if you watch these games and think one wins, even though I say that term, it's tongue-in-cheek, nothing wins. They are so close. If you look up here, so they're all one colour, basically the pin needs to be here. I'm pushing this club to its limits. It's the wrong club. Trying to get to that pin is just pushing me way above where I need to go. These two were some of my better shots. Like you can't really, that's just a natural dispersion, but it's two different clubs. You're not seeing a different pattern. For me, these are two great irons for people who want good looks, good feels, but help. And that could be any handicap. Yes, you're going to verge more down towards the lower, but you could be mid, and you could be a high handicapper and have these in a 7, 8, 9 iron wedge and then go more help when you need a bit of launch help in the other stuff. Because there is enough help in these. I personally feel for golfers to get everything they need when they start mishitting those strikes like we all do, a bit across the face. Beautiful looking irons. Do you want me to pick? I can't. The Titleist, I think I would go T200 on the Titleist over the Ping, possibly. If it was between these two, I'm going to edge towards the Ping, just because the Titleist looks a little bit too slender for what I want, but for lots of people down in this ilk, I think they would pick the Titleist. Let me know what you think. It's so tough to pick between those two.